In my life, I feel as though I've built a tower, only to watch it collapse. Time and time again, the cycle repeats, and I am devastated. But still I build, and each time the devastation feels less complete. In this place of loss and helplessness, I invariably survive, and alone, with my shadow, I begin building again. You are everything you are not. If you think yourself brave, bold, a leader, this does not mean you do not experience fear, cowardice, or subservience. You may be loving and empathetic, but you will still experience disgust and contempt. The traits you desire and identify with are blessed with the light of your consciousness, as you intentionally shape your view of yourself and the image you seek to project out to the world. This is your persona. But the other traits, the shame, the fear, the cowardice, and hatred, those are a part of you too. These traits are forced to hide in your soul, deprived of the light, feared as though they were a primal entity, a dark passenger in our hearts. They come together not to be shared or thrust out proudly into the world, but to languish in our cold depths, the neglected child, the devil in hell, the shadow. The majority of people walking this earth are not aware of the shadow's presence. By nature, the traits of our shadow linger on the periphery of our vision, never in focus and easy to ignore. Instead, the minimal awareness of the concept arises when faced with such traits in other people and situations. It is common to be bothered or put off by the presence of a person who reminds you of yourself. Their worst traits come into focus beneath the light of your attention, and suddenly your shadow is underneath the lens. Agitation and avoidance are the typical responses, with little thought going into why, as the universe holds a mirror to your face with signature, gleeful indifference. When pressed, one might rattle off all the reasons they are put off by an agitator. You can rest assured that the list will contain common trespasses of which the speaker is guilty. A psychologist will call this projection, accusing another of behavior of which you are culpable. Common, expected to those who recognize the pattern, and the primary symptom of a completely unexamined shadow. The narcissist, the gaslighter, the abuser, the martyr, these are but modern archetypes, humans-made monsters under the demonology of pop psychosis. It will always be true that sitting with discomfort will bring forth growth. Pressure shapes diamonds and pearls. Our greatest accomplishments are triumphs in the face of adversity. If the task feels like plunging into a pool of ice water, you must do it for the sake of your karma and your soul. The edges of our ability is where all progress lies. Where discipline and surrender meet, we find flow. The work, at least here on earth, is unending until we know love complete. We unfold into our best selves by meeting challenges, creating art, and exploring the darkness. And there is no darkness deeper than that which dwells within your very ghost. In a sufficient meditation practice, in a particularly challenging dream, in a psychedelic trip, the universe will bring forth your shadow. What you resist, persist, and if not met in your waking world, you will be made to confront the aspects of your personality which do not charm or thrill you. Your trespasses will be remembered, your guilt becomes familiar, and your very humanity is held to the light as a fragile and flawed vessel, not just in flesh, but the egoic carrier of mind. What you have assembled in this lifetime is not a perfect structure. It is not the glowing sculpture that is your persona, face forward toward your peers. Your ego is a ramshackle thing, held up by the insecurities of our parents, our fear of death, our cowardice and self-serving features which have kept us alive. You're a mess, and pretending that the ramshackle wiring behind the mask isn't there does not make it so. It is your task to face the shadow. Through meditation, through active imagination, through talk therapy and soul-seeking adventure, you must learn to integrate its lessons. Learn how to nurture the forsaken child of your soul. Learn how to love the devil within, that you might learn to love those without. Accept and love yourself for what you are, warts and all. You cannot take on a challenge which you do not acknowledge exists, and ignoring the shadow, once you know it's there, is akin to burying your head in the sand. If you do not challenge yourself, if you do not commit to uncovering the dark parts of your heart, you commit yourself to philosophical death, and so shall your life of comfort and boredom resolve in its disappointing finale, at least until the next one. No noble, well-grown tree ever disowned its dark roots, for it grows not only upward, but downward as well.
Hey, thank you for watching that. Appreciate you spending your time with me. I'd like to hear from you. Let me know. Have you been confronted with your shadow? Have you had to deal with some of that nonsense? And do you have any advice for anybody who might be watching this video? Again, thank you for checking it out. Like it if you liked it. Please subscribe. And I want to give a major shout out to all my patrons. I appreciate you guys an absolute ton. If you are interested in becoming a patron, check it out. It's patreon.com/American Dragon. I produce a lot of artwork. I produce a lot of music. And every month, if you pledge $5 or more, I send you a postcard in the mail. I write some nice words of gratitude. The postcard contains my art, links to music, and things like that. And there's actually always kind of a connection to whatever I'm talking about on the channel. So if you're curious, if you want to go deeper, another layer, please do. All right, again, thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.